Yo, how's it going, Apple Army? How are you all doing today? I hope you are all doing well. So, today we are bringing, I am bringing you the Stamina Necromancer 1vx and 2vx PvP build for Blackwood. And it is different to your normal Stam Necro build. It is different because it doesn't have a defensive bar. It might look like it has a defensive bar, maybe, but it doesn't have a defensive bar. It's not your standard sword and board, two-hand, pariah, bullshit build, unkillable tank. That's not what I'm providing you here today, guys. I'm providing you an alternative. This is an alternative to that bullshit. Basically, we have spin twin on the back bar, uppercut on the front bar. You've got enough 1v1 pressure to finish an X by yourself. You've got cleanses, we've got heals, armor, but then you've also got the ability to spin to win and do an AoE Colossus to pair with 2vx, 3vx, 4vx, you get the point. This is a very diverse build. It's a jack of all trades, and I'm very excited to be showing it to you. But before I show it to you guys, I want to give a huge shout out to Elite Jester and Frosty. I just turned on my screen there just to make sure I didn't get the names wrong, but thank you guys for joining the Apple General Rank. There are 3 of you now, including Nano, and guys, thank you for showing that you support me. I mean, for me, that's amazing. Honestly, I really appreciate the support I've been getting. So, but yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I'm going to buff up. These are armor pots with stamina and health. Armor pot with stamina and health, with physical resistance, my spirit mender, and then with rally. Let's have a look on the back bar. So, nearly 15k magic, nearly 29k health, 29k stamina, 800 magic recovery, don't care about the health recovery, 2.8k stam recovery, 5.2k weapon damage, over 10k pen, weapon critical very low there, and then we are looking at 23,000 spell resistance, and then 28,300 physical resistance with 2.6k crit resistance. So you can see the resistance for the spell resistance is quite low there. We're running physical resistance potions just to bring that up a bit. Now let's switch bar. I don't believe I've got my potion. I'll wait for the potion just to quickly come up. Give that a second. Alright. So, same base stats on the back bar then, but we have, well, back bar, they're both attack bars. We got 5.4 nearly k weapon damage there, with 8.9k physical penetration, 23,000 spell, and 28.3k physical. The resistances don't change on each bar. They don't change other than when buff drops. Okay, right, moving down, 64 points into stamina. We're trying to push the stamina as high as we can get. With a Super Wonderstone, 310 stam recovery, which is awesome. We need that stam recovery. Then our Tame Turquoise Bar for the max health, stamina, stam recovery, health recovery. Don't care about the health recovery, but there's still the max stamina, health, and stam recovery is really nice. You can run Dubious if you want, but that doesn't give health recovery, and we don't really need it. So you can run Dubious as a cheaper alternative. Dubious can run Thorn, for anybody who doesn't know what that is. Right. So I've already briefed over this, but yeah, Artanium, and then our potions with the health, stamina, and physical resistance potions. Then I can switch up to the knockback immunity, speed, and stamina when I say I got 15 players on me behind me, well, even 10 players, and the physical resistance just doesn't mean anything. I just need to not get stunned, and I need to move my ass. That's what these potions do really well. And then I always have, you know, some tripods just in case. It's always good to have a tripod slotted just in case you get caught in a really unfortunate situation. That's usually when I get hit by a bomb. I'm not gonna lie. That's usually when I'm low stats and I get hit by a bomb or some shit. And survive. Yeah. Right. Moving on to the gear then. So we got Spriggans on both bars. And the reason I've chosen Spriggans is because it gives 2-line stamina, weapon damage, and physical penetration. And basically, I don't have to proc anything for this. I can do my damage really easily, basically. I can line up many different combos. I don't have to rely on procs. And in different situations, this works very well. Like, it can handle any situation because it's just straight up damage, which is what I love. Building our base stats, and I think it suits the STAMCRO class so well. Even no procs are here. I could use stuns, I could use New Moon. I still feel more comfortable with Spriggans on this build. And that's just my opinion. Right, so we're running Nirnhound on with 2 maces. Nirnhound on the main weapon, and then we got Sharpened on the offhand. Just if you put Nirnhound on the main weapon, you get more weapon damage. That's just how that works. So yeah, do that in that order. And then you can put some different enchants on. I usually chuck in some poisons or some shit, but run what you want for the enchants. Then for back bar, I keep saying back bar, they're both attack bars, both front bars, they're both attack. Sharpened, two hand with the weapon damage enchant on this bar, and then I get just Spriggans. Right, so just quickly before I go to that, so we are running 4 pieces heavy, 3 pieces medium. So you'll see you can run 1 piece medium on either the helmet, shoulder, leg, or boots because they have all the same armor value, and then for the other 2 pieces medium you want as the waist and hands because they are the lower armor value. Then we got 1 piece reinforced, which is the chest, and 1 piece well fitted. Well fitted can be any piece, just not the chest, and then the rest are impen because we are stacking up our crit resistance. Right, so for our monster set we are running Balorgs. Balorgs is awesome, you get line of weapon damage, then you get a crap ton of pen and weapon damage for when you use your ulti. So when we do Dawnbreaker, Colossus ulti, we are getting a lot of damage, and that is awesome. I love Balorgs. Balorgs is one of my favorite sets in the game because it's straight up damage, and I like damage. So yeah, I like to see players drop. And then for our other set, we're running 4 pieces stuns, not 5 pieces. We're running 4 piece stuns. Now, I like the 4-piece stunned bonus because it gives 2 lines of weapon damage and a line of penetration. There's no line of crit there, and we don't need crit, so I got a really itchy ass fucking eye. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Right. I run stuns because I like the 2 lines of weapon damage and 1 line. Now this slide's going on. What the fuck is going on? Right. I'm a mess today, guys. 2 lines of weapon damage and 1 line of offensive penetration. Back to the fucking build. Yeah, I don't want a line of crit in my 4-piece because we are running Malakath and I didn't want to have a line of crit in. I'd rather just straight up weapon damage and pen. You could go for Witch Knights here. I believe, like, Witch Knights is just, Witch Knights is just 3 lines of weapon damage, but I wanted a line of penetration. That was my preference. I preferred this. This is my favorite 4-piece set for damage. Right. And then we got Spriggans on the body. Then again, with all the enchants are tri-enchants, we're just pushing those max stats. Sorry for the guys who don't have much money, but we're pushing max stats. Right, you could, if you really didn't want to do it, on the small pieces you could run stamina on the smaller ones, but yeah, I have it as all try. Then we got all 3 infused with 1 stam recovery, pushing that stam recovery even further. We've got enough damage as is. This is just to make it Xable and so it can sustain, which is awesome. Then, yeah, I got the Spriggans jewelry and then Malakath. Right. And if you don't know what Malakath is, it's fucking stupidly powerful, but not as broken as it used to be, so you can switch out for other stuff if you want to. But I still like Malakath. Right. Moving on to the skill set. Right, so on the dual wield bar, we got our Spirit Guardian. And what our Spirit Guardian does is it takes 10% of our damage and it heals us every 2 seconds, which is awesome. And then what it also does is, I'll let that tick for a second and make a corpse. But in the meantime, whilst I let that tick, what it does as well is it buffs our... Whilst having active, it gives us 200 magicka and stamina recovery, which is, again, awesome. So this gives us sustain by having this active, and then on top of that, it takes 10% of our damage. Now, when it drops, what I can then do is take the tether, and then get a tether heal. So what I'm going to do is just switch to the skill over here. So, when we get a corpse, we tether heal for nearly 20,000, and I'm pretty sure if I buff up, that is 22,000. And then, whilst having that active, we get healing done increased by 3%. We have that on our 2-hand bar, because we're usually on our 2-hand bar more with popping blast bones, uppercut, so it's like more offensive, easy to bring out, yeah, just it's kind of like a replacement for Vigor. You just keep that up all the time whilst being offensive, and then Vigor if you need to, you know, stack on top and become even more unkillable. And I'll just proc that up now again, just for that. But yeah, moving on then to Whirling Blades. This is our Execute, AoE Execute. It works really well with Blast Bones and Colossus ulti and Dawnbreaker. It works well with all of them. We gotta do a bit of bar swapping to go from 2-hand to dual wield, but I'm sure as you get used to it, guys, they both have phenomenal damage on both bars because there's no defense bar, and so you will manage to get plenty of damage in this Execute. Now I'm just gonna use this corpse again. So you look at that healing coming in, chuck a Vigor on top of that. And I mean, you just see the health just tick in. Maybe it is only small healing, but I mean, it is pretty fucking awesome. And then that Mender will heal you as well if you drop health. And so yeah, just wanted to give an example of that. Now, for the Summoner's Armor. This gives us 6,000 physical and spell resistance. I mean, we need that on every build. We need our Major Resolve. So awesome. and then whilst active reduces the cost of our Skeleton Mage, Spirit Mender, and Blast Bones. So always activate this first, because look at the price list, 4,300, right? We activate this one first. This now drops down to 3,600, and you'll see the cost of Blast Bones decrease as well. So this is the one that you activate first, and always make sure that it's active before you go on to activate Spirit Mender or Blast Bones, because it is just giving you more sustain. Basically, it's helping with sustain. And then when you rotate it, you can get a nice little corpse from it, which is awesome. I'm sure you already know how to do that, right? Then it's against time. So we are not running any source of major evasion from like shuffle to get snare movability. We're not running the snare movability from the other morph of rally for momentum. So we get our snare movability from race against time. It gives us 10% critical damage, not too bad about that on this build, but it gives us major expedition, increased our movement speed by 30%, and then activating this ability removes all snares and mobilizations from you and grants immunity to them for 2 seconds. That is a mouthful. But basically, the skill is awesome, and I love it. And when I press block, I get a little bubble, which I like. But yeah, great skill. We need it for our movement and to be able to X. If you can't move and you get bogged down, that is a recipe for disaster and death in an X situation. Vigor, already talked about this, you need Vigor. Then I'm just going to buff up again to show you the stats on this. Peasants Colossus, 14, well nearly 15,000, 15.6, 16.4. I need a burp, but it's not coming. Pardon me. Right, okay. Dealing damage applies major vulnerability to the enemy. Hit for 12 seconds, increasing their damage taken by 10%. Now, I love this for, like, if I place this down, like if I pull up Blast Bones, right? If I pull up Blast Bones, then place this down, this will hit before the Blast Bones flies in usually. So the Blast Bones will do increased damage, our Spin to Win will do increased damage, and then I usually use this with other players. So this, when I'm solo, I usually use Dawnbreaker. Occasionally I use this solo, but I usually use Dawnbreaker solo. But in groups, 2, 3, 4 people, there'll be a stun in there, like a Dawnbreaker combo, or some form of stun, like a leap, something, and then Spin to Win. So you're buffing up your team's damage, which is awesome. You can get those fat clips with this. And I really love this ultimate. It's really strong, and if used correctly, stupidly powerful, right? So I've already touched on Blast Bones, but Blast Bones basically is a mini Dawnbreaker, hitting for 19,000 nearly, and it hits, literally, they do this exactly the same amount of damage. It is 18,928, 18,928. The difference is Dawnbreaker gets a dot, whilst Blast Bones does Major Defile, reducing their healing received and health recovery by 16% for 4 seconds. Paired together, you get a nasty dot with a Defile, and double the damage of Dawnbreaker when they both hit at the same time. Awesome. I mean, I love Blast Bones. The only thing is, sometimes they're a bit drunk. You've heard of the drunken Blast Bones, where they go off flying in different directions. I was fighting, like, say, imagine this, right? I was fighting this guy, right? So I pull out my Blast Bone, right? But my Blast Bone goes and hits this guy. So I aim it at this guy, I activate on this guy, but it runs and jumps over at that guy, and I'm like, the fuck's going on? So, sometimes it plays up. Sometimes that shit hella plays up, but it's funny nonetheless. Irritating, but funny at the same time. Yeah, that's enough about Blast Bones. After, I think, 2+ years now, they still haven't fixed this shit. So be it. Hexproof removes 4 negative effects from yourself, which is awesome. All those dots and stuff coming on you. It does have a cost of 1,800 health, so you want to make sure that you've got your Tether up. I'll pull the Tether. You want to make sure you have your Tether up and Vigor. So that basically negates the health, so you're not, hurting yourself and making yourself easier to burst down by dealing damage to yourself as such. So I like to make sure that I've got my Vigor and my Tether up when I'm using Hexproof, if possible. Maybe at least one of them up, so I've got healing coming in whilst using this. But you can also switch to the other morph, and basically what the other morph does is it does 2 negative effects, but for every negative effect removed, it gives you 500 Magicka and 500 Stamina. So if you remove 2 negative effects at a time, it would give you 1,000 Stamina and 1,000 Magicka, and which is fucking awesome. I love both of them. I've got enough Stamina, Sustain, and Magic Sustain as is, but I could drop my Sustain back and add more damage with that morph. But I just decided to go with the more negative effects, because sometimes I have like 20+ negative effects, and I like to spam through it sometimes just really quick to literally remove all those negative effects to make it easier to X. but they're both really valid. Play what suits you guys. I just personally playing Hexproof. But yeah, it's an awesome fucking skill. And if you want to switch this out when you're solo, for example, so say you want to run a bit more spin to win style, right? You want to run a bit more spin to win with Colossus. What you can do is go into the Fighters Guild and you can activate Circle of Protection and then turn evil, right? So what you can do with this one is when you place this, it fears all targets. Did I pick the right one? I swear I picked the right one. I'm reading. I can't find it. Oh, at the bottom. I was like reading, like, I swear this is the right one. Yeah, upon activation, enemies in the area are feared for 5 seconds. Right, we don't care about the rest of the minor protection and the stam recovery bullshit. No, we don't care about that top shit. It's the fear. It's the AoE fear. So you can replace that for here. And so you can put that skill in here, and then I'll actually show you. Say if you wanted to do it like this, right? You could put this here. Then instead over here, you could chuck that there, and then what you could do is you could put blast bones, so you could switch blast bones and the healer over to here, and then just have uppercut on rally on this bar. So you can switch it around as you see fit. There are definitely different options for skills that you can run on this build, especially if you're solo or in group. Which is awesome. You get, like I said, guys, this build's got plenty of diversity. Just by a few flick of just a few skills, the build is set and ready to go, which I love. Then rally, right? Rally is awesome. It gives us our minor endurance, increasing our stamina recovery by 15%. Gives us our major brutality, which we really need on any stamina build or any class. You want to be having your increased weapon or spell damage by 20%, because that counts for healing and damage, and it's just an amazing buff to have. And then we get a burst heal, which is awesome. Which is really awesome. On top of our our free heal over times with our Spirit Mender. I put Spirit Mender on both bars. With our Spirit Mender, Vigor, and Tether heal. And then a burst heal on top of that. Our healing is phenomenal, and then a purge as well to get rid of any dots. And so yeah, it really brings the build together, having a burst heal. Tether heal, we've already gone over this. Amazing skill. Keep that. Really keep that on any build that you run on STAMCRO. It's too strong. Like that heal paired with the Spirit Mender's 10% damage reduction and a purge, it is stupidly powerful, honestly. Dizzy Swing, right? So buff up again. Show you the Dizzy Swing tooltip. So Dizzy Swing, 13.4k physical damage, sets them off balance, so then you can medium weave them to stun if you want. So it gives you options to stun. Yeah. Great skill, spammable, paired with Blast Bones, amazing damage, and Dawnbreaker. So you're seeing the damage potential from these three, paired with, say you uppercut, like pull up Blast Bones, uppercut into a Dawnbreaker spin to win. With our level of penetration and damage, it's awesome. It's really fucking awesome. And then Dawnbreaker, we talked about Dawnbreaker already, great skill. So then, moving on to the CP. Right. So in the green tree, like I always say, guys, you want to have your reduced damage to full, reduced full damage. Did I say that right? Yeah, reduced full damage by 55%. That is awesome for X-Sync. Then what you've got is Rationer. This is awesome. Increases your duration of your foods by 30 minutes. So our TM takeaway broth, which is the more expensive food, it's nice to have an extra 30-minute duration on that. Then liquid efficiency, so you don't go through your parts as fast. Means you don't have to craft them as often. It's not as much as an issue anymore. Like back in the day, we used to craft them literally 4 at a time, but now you can select how many you want crafted, so this isn't too bad. And then Steve's Blessing, increasing your movement speed by 20% outside of combat. And then I have Gifted Rider, increasing your movement speed by mount by 10%. But guys, it's completely up to you from what you want. Then, let's go on to the blue tree then. So we have the crit resistance, increasing critical resistance by 660. This is a must, you need that on build. Then we have Duelist rebuff, reduces damage taken by single target attacks by 10%. Like I always say, that's stuff like Incap, Spectral Bow, Crystal, Frag, Uppercut, all that good stuff that's hitting you for hitting you massive damage. We reduce all that damage taken by 10%, which is great. Then we got the Biting Aura, increasing damage done with area effect attacks. So that is your Dawnbreaker, that's your Colossus, that's your Spin to win, and that is your Blast Bones, increasing all of that by 10%. And then Master Arms, increasing all damage done with direct damage attacks by 10%. So that's Dawnbreaker, but not the Dawnbreaker dot, just the initial hit. Uppercut, uppercut, Spin to win, execute, and then Blast Bones. All of that is counted as direct damage. and just not damage over time, because that goes into deadly aim. Not deadly aim, Fimitage, sorry. Right, moving on then to the red tree. My favorites are obviously max health, increased armor, recoveries, and then Juggernaut, increasing your reducing your damage taken by 10% whilst having a crowd control, whilst you have crowd control immunity, which means when you break free and you're immune to being stunned, or when you're using a mobility pot, you take 10% less damage, which stacks on top of the 10% reduction damage we already get from our Spirit Mender, which will go up to 20% damage reduction, which is fucking awesome. Alright. Ironclad, you can switch out Ironclad for something like Survival Instincts, but we have Purge on, so we kind of just remove all of our negative effects. But you could switch it to Expert Evasion, which helps with definitely helps with sustain when you want to roll dodge, because having a free roll dodge every 30 seconds is actually more than what it seems, and it's pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, these are the main four that I stick with, but switch around as you feel fit. Yeah, definitely keep this one though, the max health, and this is the one I'd switch around if you wanted to switch something. Right, that covers champion points. What did I miss? We haven't done I've talked about rotation, but I haven't done a rotation. Right, so let's buff up. So like I said, always this buff first. We're going to buff up this one, put our Spirit Mender on, we're going to put Rally up then, and what we're going to do is we're going to put our potion up, because that increases our resistances, as you'll see there, our physical resistance. So we want to have that up when we go into combat. Right, now that our buffs are up, I'll just redo them again so they don't come up. So now that our buffs are up, what I look to do is to pull up a Blast Bone straight away. And when now the Blast Bone's up, I am looking to light attack, uppercut. So I'll speed that up because the Blast Bone already came in. So pull up the Blast Bones, I'm going to do light attack. Oh, fucking, why won't that go off? Right, my bad. Light attack, uppercut, light attack, bar swap, light attack, execute. I always want to get my light attacks in, guys. You can do Blast Bones at range because you're coming in, but you could even just do heavy attack into a Dawnbreaker as it lands into spin to win, or Blast Bones, uppercut, Dawnbreaker, and then into spin to win. You get the point, guys. Shit hits hard. The combo is pretty fucking easy, self-explanatory. And the difference would be if you had the fear, like you would do. So let me just show you an example with having the fear on instead of this, and we like with the fear way of playing. So we could obviously buff up. Oh, I moved the buff. So the buff would, so that buff would be on this bar over here. Where are you? So that bar, this buff would be here, right? And basically what we would do is pull up a Blast Bone. We would do a fear. Actually, it would be Blast Bone, and then you do your Colossus ulti. So Colossus ulti, then a fear, and then you spin to win. And as you're spinning to winning, you're bar swapping, pulling up the Blast Bone, and then continue spinning to winning to make sure that the Blast Bones is retained up against those tanky opponents. But guys, the combo is pretty simple on this build. It's not like the STAMCRO build where I had to go really in depth about it. I mean, it is pretty straightforward. And I mean, STAMCRO is an easy class to play, guys. I hope you enjoyed this build. I hope you find it helpful, because there are so many builds that I just run in Prior, Sword and Board, Two-Hand, Clever Alchemist, Vatashran. I wanted something a bit different for you guys. So it might not be best in slot, but it definitely does everything really well, and I'm happy with how it's performing. If you want to see gameplay videos, go check out the STAMCRO video I did. It's only 6 minutes. It was literally a couple days ago, but yeah, only 6 minute video because the service performance has been absolutely shocking, so I couldn't get many clips, but you can see how strong it does perform. But yeah, guys, again, thank you Elite Jester and Frosty for joining the Apple General rank. If anybody else wants to join, you get obviously the membership next to your name, you get your own rank in the Discord. Obviously, you support me further in my content creation process, which is awesome. You get exclusive posts, which I will be doing more of now that there's more of you. So you get exclusive posts to help determine the future future content, exclusive access to videos. You will start getting early videos. So when there's a few more of you, I will just start giving early access to builds. So like a build like this, I might do say 12 hours early or a day early to you guys. I will find some exclusivity in that for you guys as well. But amazingly, you are supporting me, which is fucking awesome, and I will try and make you feel cherished because you are. But you guys also make sure to smash that like button, hit like, let me know how you feel about it down in the comment section down below. I want to know your thoughts on this, if you're enjoying it, if you're gonna go make it. Let me know, guys. I always love to hear how you guys feel about my builds. And then subscribe, guys, if you haven't already, to stay up to date with all my latest content and to become part of the Apple Army. We are 1.3k of us now, 1,300 plus of us nowish, guys. We're growing at an amazing rate. Thank you guys so much. We actually grew at our fastest rate ever yesterday, at 30 subscribers yesterday, which was fucking awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Also, guys, we'll be moving over to Twitch soon. The link for my Twitch is down in the description below. So we will be streaming full-time over on Twitch very soon now, guys. And then also the link for the Discord is in the description below. We're approaching 200 members. I know that's a lot of advertising in this outro, but we're growing. We've got a lot of platforms and stuff that we're doing now, guys. I'm trying to give you guys as much content and ways to connect with me as possible. So yeah, thank you very much for the support, guys. But without any further ado, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out for now. Bye-bye.